Welcome to the channel, and today we'll be talking about Eminem's dark relationship with Chaos Kid. For those of you who don't know who this is, Chaos Kid and Eminem were part of the group Soul Intent, and this was Eminem's first group even before D12. And the group was active from 1988 to 1992, and what we're about to discuss in this video is all speculation and one-sided based on the fact that Eminem never responded or spoke on the matter, and we're left with only Chaos Kid's point of view. Before we get started, remember to subscribe and turn on notifications, and now we get right to it. Based on information on the internet, Eminem and Chaos Kid went their separate ways before Eminem finally made it and caught the attention of Dr. Dre, and after this, Chaos Kid made attempts to reconnect with Eminem, but things never went back to how it was between him and Eminem. Some even believe the song Stan was based on Chaos Kid, who sent multiple letters to Eminem, and indications suggest that Eminem never read or even responded to those letters. Chaos Kid wrote two open letters to Eminem, one in 2009 and the other in 2010, and if you're interested in reading them, I'll leave links to them in the description of this video. But what led up to these letters and Eminem ignoring him was probably something that occurred in the early 2000s. If you've been with us for a while now, you'd have seen our videos on Eminem's diss tracks aimed at Benzino, including Nail in the Coffin and The Source. This is important because Benzino was co-owner of The Source at that time, so you could say Eminem had a beef with The Source magazine and they needed to find some dirt on Eminem to use against him, and that's where the rumors suggest that Chaos Kid contributed. The rumors suggest that the leaked tapes that The Source magazine tried to use as proof for the narrative that Eminem was a racist came from Chaos Kid, and although Chaos Kid denied this in his first open letter to Eminem, Eminem probably believed that Chaos Kid had something to do with it at that time, and this definitely put stress on their relationship, since Eminem believed Chaos Kid was paid for the tapes and was also paid to take part in the interview by The Source. Chaos Kid was feeling resentment and felt left out when Eminem blew up and he couldn't get a hold of him, and many see this as what pushed Chaos Kid to sell the tapes and take part in the interview, although Chaos Kid later stated that his words in the interview were taken out of context by The Source and that he was angry and probably said too much in the interview. Here are some quotes from Chaos Kid's first open letter to Eminem. "I was naive with not knowing about the whole beef that was going down between you and The Source, so when they contacted me, I let them get me off track from the true reason why I agreed to do the interview in the first place, to clear up the issue on those tapes that were leaked by some asshole and they misrepresented and misquoted me." This letter was in 2009 and apparently, Eminem had met up with Chaos Kid a couple of times before 2009 and they even discussed about what they could do in the future. This is evident as in the letter, Chaos Kid states, "I know I've been a little too radical and extreme with some of my views, but I've really come down to earth a lot more in the last couple of years, and you know through it all my heart has always been in the place of wanting to do what's right." Here, Chaos Kid is probably talking about his ideas of social justice that he spoke about with Eminem earlier, and he admits that his ideas may have been extreme in the past but now he's more practical with his ideas. Going by the content of these letters, Chaos Kid became a social justice advocate, or what's now known as a social justice warrior, and wanted Eminem to use him to make the world a better place, but from the sounds of it, his political affiliation and Eminem's were contrasted, since he sounded more like a socialist in some bits of the letter, and was against the rich having so much money and resources. It talked about Eminem leaving him behind despite promising otherwise, but one thing he was happy about was the music video of Beautiful from Relapse where Eminem showed how Detroit needed help. Eminem didn't respond to his first letter, but in Airplanes Part 2 by B.O.B. that features Eminem, Chaos Kid felt Eminem was referring to him in the lyrics when Eminem stated, "Pretend he even had a friend to say was his friend." Chaos Kid responds to this bar by stating that Eminem should try to be a better friend, even though musically they went their separate ways. Eminem and Chaos Kid went their separate ways before Eminem blew up, and this is from Chaos Kid's second letter. So what if our musical tastes diverge drastically? It isn't and wasn't about that, it's about being a good person. In the second letter, Eminem is put on blast in a couple of sections, and this released in 2010, and the letter also followed the same narrative of the first that centered on Eminem leaving him behind. The second letter also builds a lot more on social justice and Eminem's failure to join him as a partner, and towards the end of the second letter, Chaos Kid says this about Eminem. "I still have my life to live with or without you, but it will never take away from the fact that you could have helped me to achieve so much more for humanity." After the first letter, in a post, Chaos Kid claimed he reconnected with Eminem, and they even spoke about the possibility of a Soul Intent reunion, and many people see this as them reconnecting before the tragedy, but this post was in 2009 after the first letter, and since the second letter was in 2010, I couldn't find any proof that they reconciled, and in 2011, Chaos Kid committed suicide. Now that he's gone, we'll never know what happened, and since Eminem hasn't spoken about this, we'll probably never know. What are your thoughts on this? Tell us in the comment section below, and if you'd like to add to this topic, feel free to share with us below. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe if you made it this far. ET signing out.